Good morning. You're welcome to Morning Pulse, the pulse of Nigerian politics. My name is Sharon Enemchuku. Joining me live in the studio, I have the ever beautiful, splendid Ifoma Oji. Good morning. How are you doing?
Sharon.
How are you doing?
I am very well.
Yes. You want to tell us why?
Yes, today is my birthday.
Of course. Happy birthday to you, Ify. We're wishing you long life, prosperity, and all of that good stuff.
Amen.
All right, joining us via Zoom, we have our analyst in person of Mr. Oladimiji Oluwafemi. Good morning, sir. How are you doing?
Good morning, sir.
Good morning, guys, from the studio. Ify, I was going to ask you something was happening today.
Because of the look, she's looking different today.
Oh, my God. It's actually my birthday.
It's the birthday glow. We love to see it. Now, we're heading straight to the headlines that we have for today. In today's top stories, the House of Representatives has launched an investigation into a $460 million CCTV project that began under former President Goodluck Jonathan amid concerns over implementation and security benefits. In a separate development, music star Davido has been appointed chairman of the Osun Sports Trust Fund as the Osun state government moves to revamp its sports infrastructure and youth programs. And internationally, the United Kingdom government will cut the post-study work stay for foreign graduates, including many Nigerians from 2 years to 18 months starting January 2027. Tightening pathways to skilled employment abroad. First off, let's start with the House of Senate, what is happening with the House of Assembly and this probe into the $460 million CCTV project during Goodluck Jonathan's tenure as president, that is as far back as in 2010. Now, this is almost a decade later, and you're making an inquiry into this. According to them, because of the rising insecurity in FCT, they said that this CCTV camera would have served as a security tool to be able to check what is going on in and around their environs. But up till date, Mr. Oladimiji, they have not seen this. I think apart from 1,000 CCTV they were expecting, I think just 40 CCTV is actually working. But that 460 million Chinese loan is still being paid for. The interest is still being paid for, but they are yet to see the dividends of that particular loan. So what's your take on that story, sir?
Sharon, real quick, how many cameras did you say they budgeted for?
They were not specific, but they said over 1,000 of CCTV cameras. This is $460 million we're talking about.
But they delivered just 40.
So they delivered 40
CCTV
of 1,000 CCTV cameras. It's not new to us. We had a 30 of 700 road commission. It's not new to Nigeria system. We commissioned a 30 kilometer out of 700. So if we got 40 of over 1,000, it's still in line with the directive of the renewed hope that we are under current. So the situation with Nigeria is pathetic. It is pathetic because, oh man, we don't know what we are doing. And it has come to the point where I ask myself if actually we have leaders who reason like humans. We are bedeviled by a marriage of problems in this country. Economic instability, inflation galloping, insecurity wallowing. But it is CCTV that is the problem of the National Assembly.
They say it will help with insecurity, Mr. Oladimiji.
If it will help, let's see. Well, we don't need CCTV cameras to put kids in school in Abuja, but they are out of school. We don't need CCTV cameras to put, the medical facilities in Abuja right, but they're not right. They're like dead traps. We do not need CCTV for this things. But they want to probe They would, look, you want to probe, you are skipping the immediate administration, the immediate previous administration, and you are jumping to Jonathan. Something is wrong with this leader.
Thank you, Mr. Oladimiji. I like that you pointed that out because this happened in Goodluck Jonathan's regime as president, and Ifoma, what he just raised now, skipping an entire administration all the way back to a decade ago where we had former Goodluck Jonathan as president. Do you think this is politically motivated, since we've been hearing a possible return of Goodluck Jonathan to the political space, or are they just doing due diligence?
Well, I think this is it's actually politically motivated, because it's just like what Mr. Oladimiji said. Why would you skip the present administration? There've been a lot of billions or loans that we have acquired from China and IMF and World Bank that we are yet to pay, and it's already counting. The servicing is already counting, and you are not probing into that. You're not seeing deliverables. You're already jumping to go and probe into Goodluck Jonathan's tenure. It does not make sense to me. That's number one. And then number two, according to them, they've already ad hoc is the committee that will be investigating that. And I'm telling ad hoc, please start with Aso Rock first of all. From Aso Rock, move to Abuja, move to the FCT minister. You understand? Probe into his land grabbing, probe into his properties in other countries, probe into a lot of things. We don't actually need CCTV, just like Mr. Oladimiji said, to put things in place. We don't need CCTV camera. When we have a working system in Nigeria, CCTV camera is the least thing that we need. There are a lot of children in the school, in the streets, that we need to pick up and put them in schools. There are a lot of infrastructural, lapses that we need to fix. So CCTV camera is not Nigeria's major problem. So I think it's because of the fact that Goodluck Jonathan is coming out for, we're hearing rumors that there's possibility that he will be coming out for the presidential seat for 2027. So they are using this opportunity to maybe like tarnish his image so that his image will be tainted before the election.
Before the election. Now, Ifoma is saying that this is possibly because of a bigger sabotage to work against former Goodluck Jonathan and prevent him or discourage him from returning to the political scene. And there is something you mentioned, Mr. Oladimiji, skipping a particular administration. Let's talk about this present administration where we are currently swimming in debt. The same Chinese companies or the same Chinese banks where this 450 million loan was taken from and approved by, we're seeing all that, we're in billions of dollars of debt now, not just to Chinese banks, but to IMF and the World Bank. And yet, we're yet to see the implementation of most of these loans. With the House of Rep now, with this representative going as far as a decade now, do you think that's misplaced priority? But if not, if you don't think so, do we also see the need for us to be accountable, even though it takes a decade for that accountability to surface?
Now, precisely, let us speak that it is it is 10 years and some months since Jonathan left office. And this again wants to probe Jonathan. Now, let me call again your attention to this, Sharon, that on multiple occasions, Tinubu has gone out on international calls where he represented this country poorly and disgraced this country with lies of of bilateral relationships and agreements that never happened. But this NAS would not probe into that. They won't ask questions why the head of the executive would go to disgrace a population of 230 million people. They wouldn't ask about the $300 billion FDI that he lied recently about, that we never saw. They wouldn't probe the government to present the social register for the 8 million Nigerians that got 300 billion naira. So what are we talking about? I don't care if, they are playing their political rigmarole between themselves with regards to tarnishing the image of Jonathan or whatnot. That's not my interest, because whatever political game they play does not fit the interest of the majority of the people.
I like that.
It is just...
Yes.
So my interest to bullet out all of this abnormality that we are experiencing, like going far back as to over a decade ago. Didn't the senior domestic officer of Asol tell us that, when a case is over 10 years, you don't visit it again? Did you not tell us that the case of drug was over 10 years and it was over?
Good point, sir.
Now, there is a mystic, it's not natural, but there is a devilish mystic hovering over the current crop of politicians that we have in power today.
All right. Thank you very much, Mr. Oladimeji. Finally, on this particular story, if we're still talking about transparency and accountability, with situations like this where they are going as far back as a decade to probe into a loan that was given and was not carried out for the purpose for which it was granted. Now, other loans that we are seeing going forward now, when things like this happen, for instance, the federal government, we always hear the federal government, and the federal government is not one person, right? But when we hear cases like, the federal government has gone to take a $1 billion loan from somewhere, how do we approach accountability? Who do we hold accountable when this loan is gotten and it is not being used for exactly why it was gotten?
We can actually petition the House of Representative Committee to give us more like a public account or breakdown of how this loan, number one, was acquired, of how they distributed or they contracted people, how many people were contracted, how much was disbursed, what has been done and what haven't been done. But the thing that if we are even to take to court, does the judicial system in Nigeria work? So if you're asking me to tell Nigerians how we can seek accountability moving forward, we have protested. We have asked for answers. But what did they do? They bundled all of them into the police. We have done a lot of protests. The former ex-ministers have done protests. What did they tell them? That the new minimum wage was not, it didn't reflect then in their own. So at this point, I don't even know what I am going to tell Nigerians or how they are to seek accountability from the government that governs them, to be honest.
But when we're able to get a government filled with people of integrity and dignity, then I think this would be easier for us as a nation and as a civil society to lay claim on this accountability. Now we're going to the next story, and it's still the issue about UK, its immigration policies, its foreign policies, and all of that. Now they've come to reduce the post-study work period for international students, including Nigerians and others, from 2 years. It was previously 2 years till now it's 18 months. So what they mean is that after studying in the UK, they would normally give a grace period of 2 years for you to get a graduate level job. And after that, you can go on with your life and start working in the UK. But now from that 2 years, they've reduced it drastically to 18 months. On the part of the UK, they've come out to explain that this is as a result of the fact that over the years, they've noticed that even after giving this 2-year period or grace period for you to get a graduate level job after graduating from a UK university, most people still don't get their jobs. So they're trying to now focus on locals in the UK, born and bred UK citizens, in order to give these people access to these jobs. Not only have they even reduced the number of years, they've increased the percentage for employers who are sponsoring foreign skilled individuals to 32%. Now there's an amount of money that employers pay in order to bring foreign skills to the UK. Now they've increased that by 32%, and a lot of other changes, little changes here and there that they have made that would start from 2027. But now to you, Mr. Oladimeji, do we think that this new UK policy and even other policies that have come before now will change the way young Nigerians think about studying abroad?
Apologies that I shook my head when you landed.
That's fine.
I shook my head because, you know, of the last part of your question where you said, I mean, the last part where you landed on, where you said, you know, how will it affect how young Nigerians perceive studying abroad? You know, there were times when foreigners do always come to University of Ibadan, the Premier University, to study. The days when the dollar was equal, I mean, the pound was equal to the dollar, I think. The days where the visa was free for Nigerians and the English people. But fast forward to today, we are discussing how the policy of a government. First of all, let me congratulate Kemi Badinot.
Yes.
This is a policy that favors our campaign.
Yes.
All right. Truth is this, guys. Every government of any nation works for their own comparative interest.
Of course.
So it is not rather peculiar of England, of UK, to come up with this review. And I'm sure that they have seen, the dynamism in the growth of their population, in their economy, and what's not. And they start to rethink. Of course, those are the people who understand that, look, above everything, it is their citizens first.
Yes.
First. They must be catered for. Their people must be catered for first. Before, all these multinational companies begin to indulge in all of this cheap labor that they do. That they indulge in.
Yes.
So they want their own people treated well. I don't know how Nigerians will see this, but I rather we see it from this unpopular perspective that I hold. It's a minority report, that I share. And it is that we go back, like my professor would always say in school, Professor Jegede, who would say, look, you need to sit and look inward for indigenous solutions to your indigenous problems. Now you have been faced, we have educational problem at home. We run out, we keep running out to fetch quality education, and now these people are redeeming their standard against us. So where I would want us to think as youth is, look, let us fix our problems before Americans, before the English people, before the Europeans fix their problems and shut the door completely against us.
I like that. I like that recommendation, Mr. Oladimeji. And there are some things that you said I'm going to highlight for the next question, which is the fact that every nation would always think back on how they can create policies that will favor their own citizens. So you have to be pro your own people first before any other nation. And I like that you said that we've also seen this reflected with the USA and the policies that they make. Now, when we're talking about nations rethinking, Ifoma, do we think that maybe it's high time for the Nigerian government to rethink educational opportunities that are available in Nigeria and the soundness of this education that they provide? And finally, do you think that we've gotten too dependent on foreign education, gaining foreign education as a pathway to success?
Well, I think it is high time for us to pay more attention to the educational system, because in the first place, why do people japa? That is what you ask. Maybe when they travel out and see the kind of environment and the kind of the courses or the advantage in living outside country. Tell me why somebody will travel out and would want to come back. That is number one.
Valid
so I
point.
think it's high time the government starts making Nigeria more livable for people, so that it will prevent them from moving outside the country to rather study. So I think it is high time we invest in our educational sector. And then again, I wanted to say something as regards what Mr. Oladimeji said. With this whole news and this whole story, it means that if you're planning to travel outside the country, I think you have to be more strategic and plan properly this time.
Before making that move.
You have to check countries that could actually give you, post-study work rights more longer than than what it used to be. And I feel like it has this new development. I love the fact that UK or US is prioritizing its citizens. UK is prioritizing its citizens.
Yeah.
But at the same time, I feel like the young talent, it's kind of preventing them from, getting to explore young talents. They are now,
but that's not their cup of tea, because they are working for their citizens, not really for us Nigerians.
Exactly, which is okay. I think every country needs to fight or think about their own country first. But at the same time, I'm actually saying all citizens in Nigeria should focus on, if you want to travel outside country, look and search for good employability, country that you can actually
All right, thank you very much, Ifoma. Now we're moving to the last story that we have for today. Davido has been appointed chairman of Osun State Sports Trust Fund. Now, Osun State has, come out to say that it's committed to these, to the sport in Osun State, and it's planning to even renovate the stadium in Osun State to Olympic standard in a bid to attract foreigners and tourists and events that will be held there, which would, inevitably get them revenues and help with revenues, and also young talents and people interested in sports in Osun State. And this is the reason they have made Davido as the chairman, so that people will be interested in contributing, raising money to make this achievable. And it has gained a lot of, attention because of the personality of Davido and the fame that he has. But also, there's also something that people are talking about, is his relationship to the Osun State. He is not just from Osun State. His uncle is the governor of Osun State. Now, I'm just asking, they have a goal in mind, which is to use the influence and the popularity of Davido to get funds that they need for the sports scheme that they have planned, Mr. Oladimeji. And do you see this celebrity influence translating into real results, or is this, like some people are saying, a case of nepotism?
I cannot really, speak to it from a nepotistic point of view, really, even though it is. We know that is the trait of the Nigerian system, political system today. Families and cronies are, in government today, even down to our judicial system, where it ought not to be. That's Nigeria. We have come to normalize abnormality and the absurdity. But let me define quickly and succinctly to Ijodi and Davido. Ijodi, I'm talking to Governor Adeleke now, the dancing governor.
Okay.
Let me point to him. How many of them were on that board where they start to conclude on this matter? But I can bet you, Sharon, that it was all cronyism and nepotistic bias that would have characterized that kind of conversation. Because there is a complete difference between personality and governance. Your personality don't drive governance. If you like, look, we have a celebrity as the president of Ukraine today. Have you forgotten?
That's true.
Movie celebrity in Ukraine. Ukraine has been in war since forever with the Russians. your celebrity status, regardless, does not imply success in governance. So if they think making Davido the chairman, which is a god to me, I don't see what Davido knows about football. I don't know what his idea is about sports. You know, the only time I know he's been involved in sports was to be an ambassador for one expert. You know, that's all I know. But making him a chairman of a board, a sports board of the whole state is ridiculous.
Okay, Mr. Oladimeji. Mr. Oladimeji. Yes, so you know, we're still talking, and I just want to bring up something, right, as we're having this conversation. We'll recall one of Davido's birthday, when he jokingly made a post and said he wanted all his friends to send him $1 million. And jokingly, from that post that he made, we had a lot of people sending him money. I think it resulted in over $200 million, or naira, if I'm not mistaken, but it was quite huge. And after that, Davido came out to say that he would not be using this money instead, because I think he wanted to clear a car that he wanted to gift himself for his birthday, but instead he will be giving it to orphanage homes in Nigeria. Then he went on to they put up a committee that brought out a list of orphanage homes where this money was given to. After that birthday, I think going forward, he has been maintaining every year giving back to the orphanage home. Now, I'm bringing this as a chairman of a trust fund. Now, we know trust fund is to raise money for a particular cause. Could it be that as a result of what he did on that particular day where he raised over $200 million for himself, they are trying to work on that or milk that in order to raise funds for the state of Osun?
Oh, let me ask you real quick. So if you were, you know, because it's Davido, he's the chairman of Osun State Sports, you would now, you know, just go donate your capital to Davido because he's the chairman of that sports group. Will you do that as an investor? No. Investment is different from entertainment. Governance is different from entertainment. People will invest their money in this, you know, in sports. They need ROI, you know, on their investment.
Yeah.
You don't just say, okay, it's my birthday. It's not Davido's birthday. It is also the sports ministry.
I like that you said that, Mr. Oladimeji. Now, if we've heard from Mr. Oladimeji, and we're still talking about Osun State Trust Fund. Now, as the chairman of Osun State Trust Fund, you are not it's not as though it's an opportunity for you to get money. It's an opportunity for you to even put in money. With that position now, what is in it for Davido if this is a case of nepotism? And let us have your general take on the entire matter as briefly as possible.
Okay, you know, I was actually expecting this from Osun State's governor. I'm like, you are the Osun State governor. What is taking you this long? Why is it taking you this long to appoint your family members as one position or the other? And
I think you already have Adenike as a commissioner.
No, I was expecting Davido.
Oh, okay, particularly.
Yes. And immediately I saw this, I said, this is what I am talking about. Now we are talking. You know, we always talk about nepotism every single time here. And I'm like, why is it that when these people are being placed in leadership position, the first thing that comes to their mind is to appoint their family members in a position that they do not merit? Because what does Davido have with sports? Have we come out one day and said Davido is this one, he traveled so country and he won some awards in maybe football or anything? We don't have it. We know Davido for, you know, entertainment, music. Yes, we know that he has global reach. We know that he has large followings on social media. But that does not translate to, you know, sportsmanship or anything like that. When we talk about sports here, we talk about maintenance. We talk about management. We talk about long-term plan. We talk about talent. You understand? And to this whole thing, Davido does not have any standing anywhere for this particular position. So I don't know how they tend to achieve whatever they want to achieve, because to the best of my knowledge, I know Davido as somebody that is, I mean, when we talk about a philanthropist, he is a philanthropist. When we talk about somebody that has, you know, people's interests at heart, he has people's interests at heart. But does he know how to manage money? I don't see that, because we've seen a lot of bling blings on social media. Him acquiring a lot of what's it called, properties for the wife, or cars for the wife, and gold chains and the rest of them. So
let us just keep it to
about
the sports, because we cannot dictate what he does with his personal life.
Yeah, I know. I'm trying to tell you that I'm judging his personal life to this position that he is being appointed as. You understand? So I see that this is long time.
You know, the comment section is still open, and I would want our viewers to please let us know in the comment section what exactly is their thoughts with this new position that has been given to your 001 in person of David Adeleke by the governor of Osun State as the chairman of the Sports Trust Fund. Let us know what your thought is in the comment section. But this is where we have to call it a wrap on the show. Thank you so much, Mr. Oladimiji Oluwafemi, for your contributions thus far, and to Ifoma birthday girl. Yes, we're still going to wish you a happy birthday. But yes, this is me wishing you a happy birthday again. We pray that you go from strength to strength, and that doors open for you, and you break limits and set new records in Jesus' name. Now, if this is your first time joining, this is Active Citizens. The show is Morning Pulse. If you're yet to follow us across all social media, please endeavor to do so. Find us at Active Citizens, and you can find me on my personal Instagram and Facebook at Sharon Inimchuku. And Reformer.
Well, you can find the birthday girl on Facebook at Oji Sophia, and on Instagram at Miss Alex.
And Mr. Oladimeji.
You can find the birthday girl.
It's not your birthday, sir.
The birthday girl's friend.
I like that. That's what you did there. On X, right? Okay. Now, yes. All right. Till we come your way again later today, do have a good morning.